So is there a perfect webinar funnel for advisors and RIAs to use to actually generate qualified appointments with people who know what they do, how they do it, and are open-minded to sitting down and having that conversation about how you can help them? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly whether there is a perfect webinar funnel or not. And by the end, you'll know if you actually know the 5 things that you need to do to make your webinar as perfect as possible. Hi, my name is Chung Tang with morecustomersonline.ca and aumclients.com, where I help financial advisors and RIA move $1 million of assets using social media, advertising, funnels, and automation. You can learn more about that at aumclients.com. But right now, let's actually talk about if there is a such thing as a perfect webinar funnel for financial advisors and RIAs. So Russell Brunson has a product called the Perfect Webinar Funnel. I actually have it. And the thing is that even though it's called the Perfect Webinar Funnel, if you've actually used that template and you didn't get appointments from it, or you didn't really get the results that you want, there are actually 5 specific reasons why. In this video, I'll actually tell you about them. Okay, so number 1 is that you didn't get enough people to it. That's the main thing, right? Say you create the perfect webinar and you get 10 people to it. That would be the equivalent of creating and starting the perfect restaurant, right? The best food, the best service, the most beautiful and gorgeous looking men and women as waitresses and waiters. Yet the restaurant is located in the middle of nowhere, and only 10 people have seen it. Doesn't matter how perfect the restaurant is, right? If you don't put it in a place where a lot of people see it, a lot of the right people, then it doesn't matter how perfect it is. So if you tested the perfect webinar funnel, or you have a webinar and you're not really getting the results, you're not getting appointments from it, it's because not enough people are seeing it. That's number 1. That's problem number 1 you want to solve. All right, get more people to see it. The number 2 problem is that the delivery of your webinar isn't as good as it can be. Like, if you have Russell Brunson's perfect webinar funnel, you'll actually hear him tell you that every week he did the same webinar. He basically did that webinar so many times so he can keep making it better. So he would do a webinar, promote it, and then get feedback from it on what the market actually wants and doesn't want, and then create the same webinar again, but with new adjustments, and then run that webinar again, and then just keep doing that over and over again. So imagine if he did that like dozens of times, how much better his delivery is going to be, right? And imagine if you deliver the same webinar over and over and over again, how much better is your delivery going to be? So problem number 2, why your webinar isn't generating appointments, is because your delivery isn't where it should be at. So the solution to that is to do more webinars, all right? Do the same webinar, but keep doing it over and over again until it's literally perfect. But there is no such thing, which I'll tell you more about that. The number 3 reasons why, reason number 3 for why you're not getting appointments from your webinar is because you have no follow-up in place. So there are actually 3 places you need to follow up once you promoted your webinar and get people to register. Number 1 is you need to follow up with people that registered but didn't show up. That's number 1. Number 2, you want to follow up with people who showed up but left early. And then you want to follow up with people who attended the whole webinar but didn't book an appointment, right? Those are the 3 places. If you plug the holes, if you put the follow-up in place in those 3 places, then you're going to get appointments from your actual webinar. The number 4 reason is you have a weak or no appointment offer, right? Just me saying, hey, book a call with me is not going to be as compelling as me saying, book a call with me, and on that call, you're going to get this, and this benefit, right? So you want to be specific, you want to be clear, you want to make your appointment offer compelling. If you just say book a consultation if you want more help, people aren't going to do that, right? It's just not as compelling. After all, I mean, you're competing with hundreds of advisors that are also talking about the Secure Act and how it affects people's retirement, right? You're competing with hundreds of advisors in your area who are also offering free consultations and free appointments and financial reviews, right? So you got to make your offer much more compelling than they are. Number 5 is digital debrief. If you want to get better at creating webinars that actually generate appointments, where you're actually pre-educating people so they show up for their appointment knowing what you do, how you do it, and have an open mind to actually sitting down with you to see how you can help. You want to get really good at creating webinars that get appointments. The way to do that is you need a debrief. Why you want to debrief is because when you debrief, you can look at, okay, here's what I did to get the result that I got. Here's what I need to do next time in order to get a better result. And you just keep doing that over and over again, right? But if you don't do a debrief, you're never really going to know, what's actually not working. All you're going to know is we didn't get appointments, or we didn't get enough registrations, or the show up rate wasn't that good, or it didn't really turn out, not too many people show up for the webinar, right? So just knowing those things isn't enough. You actually got to look at, what was the email that I sent? What was the promotion that I sent? How did I begin the webinar? What was my appointment offer? You got to look at all those things. So those are the top 5 problems that if you solve, then you're going to get a lot more appointments from your next webinar. And really, the question, at the beginning of this was, is there such thing as a perfect webinar funnel for financial advisors and RIAs? And the question is no, right? Because perfect assumes that nothing changes. But yet the market changes all the time. Technology changes. Your prospective clients' buying behavior and decision-making process changes. Humans, we're evolving. And so there is no perfect webinar funnel, because if there was, that means there's nothing that we can improve. And there's always room for where we can improve in our webinar, right? So I trust you found this video helpful. Those are the 5 problems. Just to recap, the 5 problems you want to solve if you want to get more appointments from your webinar is, number 1, you got to get more people to it. Number 2, you got to do a better job delivery. Number 3, you got to follow up with people who registered but didn't show, showed but didn't stay, and stayed but didn't book an appointment. Those 3 places. Number 4 is you got to have a strong appointment offer. And number 5 is you got to debrief. You got to look at the data, look at the process, and create the next plan to get better results from your next webinar. Okay, my name is Chung Tang. Thanks so much for watching this. If you want more help solving those 5 problems with your webinar to get more appointments, or at least more appointments than you did in your last webinar, then go to aumclients.com. On that page, you'll be able to learn more about what I do and exactly how I can help you get more appointments and move way more assets using webinars.